All right, you should be able to hear me now. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Uh, I want to show you something that's really interesting. Okay, great. What's up, Tiffany Ryan? Now, Tiffany, this has nothing to do with basketball, just so you know. For those of you that don't know, Tiffany Ryan is a superstar basketball player, one of the best. All right, I got to get one thing. I might have somebody jump on here real quick, which is actually going to be related to some of the news that broke today regarding Joe's case. But before I get there, on this screen, this is the results for the sheriff's election in Hillsborough County. And there's something really, I don't know, something really sticks out. You have these three categories. You have election day, early votes, and vote by mail numbers. And I'll just go through these. You guys tell me what you see. So as you guys know, I had Charles Boswell on this channel before multiple times. And they just had this primary like a month ago or whatever it was. And under these categories, hold on, did my mic come unplugged? Hopefully not. Can you hear me now? I just want to make sure everybody can hear me before I keep going. All right, great. All right, so you have the election day numbers, which is in the middle of your screen, and that's when people, they actually walk in and do a vote. And then you have the early votes, which are, you know, people that vote early. And then you have the vote by mail. Now, these are different. I don't know if in Florida they call them districts or precincts or whatever, but on election day, you see it's real close. Boswell and Chronister, 69 to 70 votes. The early votes, Boswell wins by 2, but the mail-in votes are almost double. Now, if people are voting, if this is a certain area of town, you would expect the mail-in votes to be the same as the early votes and the election day votes, you would think. So this area, the vote by mail is almost double. Now let's keep going. All right, the one in the middle of your screen, you see Boswell wins the election day and early votes by 5 votes on one and 8 on the other. But the vote by mail, Chronister almost doubles his number of votes. So that's 2 of them that are totally different. And I don't know why some of these don't have complete numbers. But we're going to keep going. All right. Here's another one in 939. If that's the precinct, I don't know. Election day, Boswell blows him out of the water 83 to 55 on the election day votes. Early votes, loses by 4. But the vote by mail is more than double. Here we go again, 937. Now, in this area, Chronister wins election day and early votes and almost triples the vote by mail. I think Green-Eyed Lady is onto something. So let's keep going. This 929, Boswell wins early votes, Chronister wins election day, vote by mail is way off, like really off. And why some of these don't have the breakdown of numbers, I don't know. But I'm just going to look at the ones that have all the numbers in there. All right, here's another one. This one's kind of early votes. Cronster gets it. Election day, Boswell does. Mail-in votes, Cronster blows him out of the water by double. Again, double. This one, Chronister, he wins this one hands down. I mean, this one, election day, early votes, he wins. Of course, vote by mail is not triple, but close. 908, it's close. On election day, early votes, but the mail-in votes, over double. All right, here we go. 875. Boswell wins election day 107 to 79. The early votes, he wins. The vote by mail, almost doubled. He loses again. All right, here we go again. 867. Election day, Boswell wins by 42. Loses the early votes. No, he wins the early votes by 4. Vote by mail, double. Chronister beats him double. So all of the mail-in votes, the mail-in votes, I mean, you would think if you're in an area and, you know, a certain percentage is voting this way, you would think that would carry through on the mail-in votes also. But that's not happening here. All right, here we go again. 828, same thing. Boswell wins the election day and the early votes. Vote by mail, doubled up. The one right above it, same thing. Boswell wins the election day and the early votes. Mail-in votes, double. By double. 154 would be double. No, sorry, 144 would be, so a little bit more than double. All right, this one, Chronister gets the election day and the early votes. I mean, is everybody that voted for Chronister, were they just people that did it through the mail? And here's another one, 820. Boswell wins election day. Early votes, it's close. 3 votes difference. Vote by mail, double. 817, Boswell wins the election and the early votes. Vote by mail, almost doubled. I mean, come on, what's going on here? 816, election day, Boswell wins by 7, loses by 8 on the early votes, doubled up by the mail-in votes. Someone explain this to me. Here we go again. 811, Boswell wins election, early votes, vote by mail, not even close. All right, 810, Boswell wins election day, early votes, he loses by 5, but the mail-in votes, not even close. I went through this, and it's over and over. Here we go again, 805. Boswell wins. Election day, early votes. And election day is when you actually go into the place. Early votes, same thing. You can go into these places. Vote by mail. I mean, it's not even close. How can there be that big of a difference in the mail-in votes? 802. It's real close. Mail-in votes, he's almost doubled up. All right, this one, 764. Boswell wins election day and the early votes, but he loses the vote by mail. He cannot win one vote by mail, it does not appear. Now, this is pretty crazy here because he blows him out of the water in 761. 183 to 120, 102 to 56. But he loses the mail-in votes. I will, here, I'll post this link in the chat. So you guys can have it, you can save it, you can look at this later. But here's another one, 759. Boswell wins the election day, the early votes, mail-in votes. No. I mean, how does this make sense? It's just again and again. Same thing, 751. 750. All right, election day, he wins by a landslide. Early votes, he loses mail-in votes. The 721, he wins by a landslide. Mail-in votes, he loses. And it's not even close. I don't know how to explain this. You know, did Chronister just do like a mail-in campaign that was so big? I mean, is that how it works? That he just did something, he won the people that would mail it in? I don't know. Now I did ask someone about this, and here's what I was told. That the mail-in votes all went to the same place. The mail-in votes went to one location. Now, who's in charge of that is something that we should look into. Who's in charge of counting the votes when they're mailed in? Who's in charge of that, and who are they connected to, and how are they connected to whomever? But Jennifer Johnson, that's a good question. Like, did those not show up because it's so obvious? I don't know why there's some that don't have final numbers, but if they're all like this, where the mail-in votes are, where they stick out like a sore thumb, then it just, I don't know. I always try to look for patterns in things. And the pattern would be, if you win in an area by a landslide, you would normally get that in the mail-in votes also. But that did not happen here. All of the mail-in votes, I won't go through too many of these. Let me see if I can get this person that contacted me. Let me see if they're available, if they want to come on. Give me a second here. So who, I guess we need to figure out, is there an election board? Who's responsible for the mail-in votes in Hillsborough County? All right, let me see if this person, I think they might actually just jump on here. If they do, it's going to be a big, big, big surprise if they jump on here. And if they jump on here, I want to make sure that everybody welcomes them. Don't judge them. Some people might think, why is this guy on here? But we should wait. There might be something interesting this person has to say. Let me tell them I sent this thing. And if he does show up, we can talk about the news that came out today regarding Joe Exotic. And did I see MysticJynx in the um, did I see MysticJynx in the chat? I thought I did. Let me go through some more of these. Let's see if there's how many more. Okay, here's another one. All right. 528, Chronister wins on all of them, but the mail-in votes is a gigantic difference. All right, so I saw Nosy in the chat. All right, there's no. All right, so maybe yes. All right, Jinxie, maybe I can get you on here too, because I would like to talk about the Dateline stuff that you were in. You're like superstar on Dateline. All right, so these ones, Chronister wins election day early votes, but the vote by mail is absolutely. Okay, so Craig Latimer is supervisor of election in Hillsborough County. All right, so we probably need to look up Craig Latimer and see how he's connected. Oh, hey, you know what? Paul Ward. Paul Ward's poking the bear. I'm going to give one of these away. This is a size large. This is a sample, but I'm going to give this away at some point. It's a Ripper shirt. You see, it says Ripper, Justice for Dawn. It's a size large, but I have to figure out how to give it away. It's just like the one I'm wearing almost. Almost. All right. All right. So Nosy's saying that Latimer endorsed Chad and he's in charge of the election stuff. That's interesting. I'm not saying there's anything there, but it's interesting. All right, here we go. Wow. He's okay. Hold on. I'm going to add this guest, and I know some people are going to wonder, like, why is this guy on the channel? But you're just going to have to trust me on this. So this is great. This is great that we have this guy getting ready to come on here. Tiffany Ryan, I'll get you hooked up. All right, here we go. The one and only, when you guys think of Tiger King and jet skis, who do you think of? This guy right here, James Garretson.
How's it going?
How are you, man?
Doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. You sent me the message. I said, hey, I'm getting ready to go live. You should come on. And I didn't really think that you would, but here you are in the flesh.
Yeah, it's time to air some things and make some things public. And, I'm kind of tired of this whole situation myself. So maybe I can shed a little bit of light on a few things.
I think we would love to have, sure. Yeah. So did you see the article today that came out about Joe and this pizza phone and all this stuff?
Yeah, I did. I just read it a little while ago, and I wasn't really in the. I didn't have that much to do with the whole Alan Glover thing, really. They worked all that stuff out behind closed doors. I wasn't involved in that aspect of it. So the whole thing sounds fishy, in my opinion. So
yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot of things that weren't right.
All right, let me ask you a question, because there is in the Don Lewis case, there are people that were involved allegedly that probably have information, and let's just say hypothetical 3 people were involved. All right, so we have 3 people involved in the Don Lewis disappearance. Of those 3 people, would it be a benefit for one of them to come forward to like a prosecutor before the other two.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think the first one that runs to the prosecutor is going to get the deal. It's you know, with with all with all the attention on this case, justice is going to prevail. So, if you do know something, I suggest you run and make your deal. I mean, don't worry about being called a rat. I get it on a daily basis. It's the keyboard warriors. I
Right.
deal with harassment every day. By getting involved with this whole basically three-ring circus. But I would make a deal. I know there's some people out there that know what happened, so those people need to come forward.
Okay. So if someone has information, this is the time to come forward. I mean, you personally know whoever comes forward first is going to get the best deal. If you're the second person to try to make a deal, it's not as good as the first person, right?
Correct. The
Okay.
first person that helps break this case will more than likely get a pass and not have to do any jail time. Kind of like in the Joe situation. We can, if we can dab into that for a minute.
Sure, you bet.
I personally, a lot of other people went forward before I did. Like the ex-husband and everybody that played a part in the Joe saga, all ran to the feds to make deals. The feds never promised me or never threatened me with anything, but everybody in his, I guess you would call it, stable, ran to try to strike a deal to avoid jail time. I don't agree with how they did him, because there's a whole lot more people out there that did worse crimes than Joe that got a pass, and I don't think that's fair at all. So maybe I shouldn't be saying these things because it's probably going to upset a few people, but I don't think the whole thing's right.
When you say you don't think the whole thing's right, what do you mean?
I think he was basically just singled out, and basically, did Joe do some horrible things to animals and people? Yes. Does he deserve what he got when all the other people walked, including the hitman? I don't think that's fair at all. I think it's a bad choice on the government, to let the hitman go. It doesn't sit well with me anymore.
Okay, so when and I don't know how much you can talk about, but you said you weren't the first one to come forward, so there were others that came
there was a woman in Joe's camp that actually, I'm not sure her name. I don't know who it is. I never heard her name, but somebody from one of Joe's employees or volunteers or whatever, ran right to Carol Baskin and said, "Hey, there's a plot on, Joe's trying to find somebody to kill you." And then Carol, I guess, called the feds and got the feds involved. So everybody around Joe ran to the feds. So it was pretty much, everybody ran to try to make a deal. And that's probably what's going to happen in the Baskin case. People are going to, once the law gets involved, they're going to start asking a lot of questions. And then people are going to be like, hey, they're going to come arrest me. And then, everybody will start running and making deals, I think.
Right. So Joe got sentenced to 22 years in prison. And that doesn't sit well with you.
It doesn't. I mean, I'm a person. I have feelings, Did Joe do some stuff that was wrong? Yes. Does he deserve to spend his life in there? No. The other people should be in there with him. I think it's kind of unfair that everybody else got a pass.
Okay.
That's probably going to piss some people off what I just said, but I mean, it's how I feel. So,
Right. Do you think, I don't know if you can say this or not, I don't know, but do you think Joe was set up?
man, that's a hard question. You know, I kind of feel that I was played a lot by a certain person involved. People were always telling me about the animals that were being killed and things like that. You know, in some ways, not really. I mean, he could have been set up on the Glover aspect of it. I wasn't involved. I was never in the same room with Joe and Glover and Jeff Lowe and all that. So I wasn't involved in that whole thing. A lot of people think I was, but I was not.
So,
You know,
so you didn't have any firsthand information about that stuff.
I didn't, not at all.
Because that's kind of the story that everyone thinks, is that you had all this information and you ratted Joe out. Like you're the reason. I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, but I am not the reason. The feds already knew that Joe was asking around for somebody to kill Carol, and he's asked around for years. He's asked a lot of people. He actually asked an ex-cop, and I mean, he asked a lot of people. Was he serious? I mean, I thought so, but then, you know, then I think about Joe's situation, you know, after the trial and read through the transcripts, and I think, I'm like, Carol Baskin put a lot of pressure on him, a lot.
On Joe?
On Joe with the lawsuits and all his suing his family, his mother. And, you know, she walked right through all this stuff, you know, and she's a cause of a lot of problems. I mean, she stalks people, she harasses people, she sues people, just like PETA. You know, they bully people, and you know, maybe the pressure got to him, because Joe wasn't always a bad guy. I'm not going to sit here and say he was always a bad guy. Joe was not always a bad guy. You know, I think he might have got desperate, started hanging around a few of the other animal people that were not good people or good choices. Maybe those people got into his head, like, oh, well, if Carol's dead, maybe this is your only way out. You know, I think some people played a dirty part in it.
Okay.
I do.
Someone asked me on here, they asked, Ripper, do you think Joe was set up? They asked me that question. So I did ask you that, but Tiffany, from what I've seen, and I have not looked into a lot of stuff, but I have looked into things here and there. I do think there was something very odd that happened with all of that. I mean, personally, I don't think Joe actually paid Alan $3,000 to have Carol kill. I don't think that happened, and I know that that was a big part of the case, but I wasn't there.
Alan was a shade. I mean, Alan is just a shady character. I mean, he, you know, I went to the park a couple times and seen Alan, and he was always drunk and he's always peeled up. You know, I didn't know he was a longtime employee of Lowe. There's a lot of things that I didn't know at the time. A lot of this information was held from me, you know, so, you know, I was played by other parties too. And I'm not trying to say I'm the victim here, but I was played, you know. So I'm sure people encouraged Joe to do certain things.
So you were pressured.
Yeah, I was put under some, you know, I don't know who Joe pissed off upstairs, but Joe had a mark on his back. And when we went into this thing, or I agreed to cooperate, I was told that they were going to get all the people that were killing animals and trafficking animals. And then come to find out, it was just one person and everybody else got a pass. I complained about that a lot, and it went nowhere, you know, because I don't agree with the hitman walking, you know. If this guy says he took $3,000 to kill somebody, how in the hell is he a free man?
That's a good question, really. If someone says, yeah, I took the money to go kill somebody, I mean, something seems wrong there. There's something.
And he didn't even get a ticket, a fine, nothing. Just walked right away from it. And there's some other stuff that I'm going to put out there. I'm actually writing a book, a tell-all book, and I'm going to lay out everything, the chain of events and stuff. And it's just tricky with a book. My lawyer has to fact check it, and it's complicated. Because I could piss off the government too. And be their next target. So, not really target, but I don't want to get on the wrong side of them.
Right.
But, do I think Joe deserves to die in jail? No. Did he do some crimes? Yes. But I think it was a little extreme. And what really gets me in this whole Joe Exotic saga is that the same judge that oversaw the Carol Baskin Joe civil end of it was the same one that did the criminal end of it. So he was probably already tainted. So he already seen Joe trying to circumvent the land deal and save the zoo and the illegal asset transfer. So he was already clouded.
Right.
So I don't think that was right at all. And that's my opinion, but
right.
I mean, and his lawyers did him no justice. I mean, you got to think everybody's coming to Joe's rescue now, okay? Because of the whole Tiger King movie or whatever the hell maybe. But when Joe was going through trial, nobody came to his aid but one attorney that works for PETA, and her name's Brittany Pete. That was Joe's pretty much only witness. So now everybody's trying to jump on this bandwagon because everybody wants to get their 2 minutes of fame, which I like to tell everybody, the whole 2 minutes of fame brings a lot of aggravation. Like, if I had to do it all again, I wouldn't have never in a million years got involved.
Right.
So,
right. It's a tough, I mean, all right. So you have a book you're saying that you're writing when's it come out?
It's going to come out in December.
Okay. And then,
that's it. They go get the legal part because I have a federal lawyer that has to look over everything that I say. Everything has to be fact checked. So it's a big process, I'm not a book writer, so it's taken a little while
right
to do it, but
it's
I'm going to lay it out. I think the right thing to do is just to lay it all out there and let people decide for themselves. I haven't came forward before this. I've said more probably on this show than I've said with anything, but sometimes it's hard for me to sleep at night because I feel a little bit responsible for a man spending his life in jail. So that screws with me. So, I'm only human, I have feelings and everything too. So, I don't know, man. It's complicated.
If you had to do it again, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't be
involved. I would not have cooperated. I wouldn't have gotten involved. I thought I was going to be a hero for some animals, to stop the killing of the tigers and stuff. But, the thing is there's a lot more people worse than Joe that are still doing the same things that Joe did. And nobody's even looking at them,
Right.
There's a person, Joe delivered a bunch of ligers and a bunch of different animals to a guy in Illinois. And this guy's been skinning and killing animals for years. And, he just walks, and I just don't think it's fair. I don't think the whole thing's fair anymore.
Okay. Nosy asked, is Jeff working with Carol? I assume she means Jeff Flo, and I assume she means Carol Baskin, not.
Yeah, I don't think so because, Jeff Lowe, he was thrown out of the park. I don't think that's the case. Jeff Lowe, in the little time I was around him, hated Carol. So I don't think Carol set up a conspiracy or anything like that. Carol did call the feds and say, hey, I think somebody's trying to kill me. you know, and she whined and cried because the feds were answering her calls. So, you know, I don't think Jeff Lowe's. No, I don't.
Have you
But
met
who
Carol
knows, man?
before?
This whole animal world is a sick, twisted world. A lot of backstabbing, a lot of jealous people. I mean, this industry just, I don't know. It has some
Characters?
pretty crazy characters. I mean, look at the Tiger King series. It's like a trailer park diet. You know, I don't know what do you call it. It's like episodes of the trailer park. You know,
It's something else.
and every day somebody else is getting in trouble, or every other day, you know, there's animal charges, and you know, it really makes me sick that Carol made a lot of money off this stuff. Whenever she's harassed a lot of people and she's done a lot of mean things to people, and it really pisses me off that, like the Dancing with the Stars episodes and stuff, you know,
Right.
she's done more dirty shit. She used to do the playtimes with animals. She has substandard caging. Her facility's not very nice. She takes in millions of dollars, you know, and it seems like she gets a pass, you know. The USDA doesn't bother, Fishing Game doesn't bother, because she's in one of those protected clubs, you know. She's like a club member, like with the GFAS. They're like, it's like a private club of terrorists, in my opinion.
Have you ever met Carol?
Yes, I have met Carol.
How many times have you met her?
I met her one time. I seen her at a Florida Fish and Wildlife meeting where they go over the regulations, or like a rule changing meeting, back in probably 2004 or 5. But you know, me having animals, you know, everybody knows Carol because everybody's harassed by her. Everybody goes on the 911 abuse site, you know, and if you do any high profile jobs, or you pose with a celebrity and an animal or whatever, you're going to be on the torture list, you know. She's going to start in on you. All her cronies are going to start in on you. And I mean, people don't like it because, I mean, it's a lot of harassment, a lot.
Yeah, she's got quite a few minions that work for her that people have no idea who they are. But have you ever met Howard?
Yes, one time.
Yeah. Was it at an animal thing, or at a party, Newt Beach, or?
It was a gay club. No. I met him. I actually toured Big Cat Rescue one time.
I gotcha.
So I've actually seen the place with my own 2 eyes. I've toured it, looked at everything, and you know, made my own determination. I'm like, where's all this money going? And why, if you have $40 or $50 million, why in the hell would you need anybody to support the few tigers she has? It doesn't cost that much money to feed animals.
Right. All right. Someone asked, I'll ask you one question, then I'll let you go, unless there's other stuff you want to add. But have you reached out to Joe's attorneys or anything like that to, and you might not be able to say, but you said you have information, you're writing a book, but have you reached out to his attorneys to say, hey, I might have some information?
I have.
You have? Okay. All right. I'll just leave it at that, because, I mean,
I have.
nobody...
I reached out, you know, well, basically right before the trial happened, I started thinking of different things, and people were saying things, and a couple people made a comment about, oh, I set you up. You know, you probably know who this is. So I didn't feel comfortable going to the trial. I called a few people and said, hey, I don't feel comfortable going to the trial. So what they told me is like, well, you have to go to the trial. You're subpoenaed. You know, we'll issue a warrant for your arrest or violating a subpoena. I didn't feel comfortable in the whole thing. And then when I saw how the trial happened, it was just like a one-sided ass kicking. Like his lawyers really had there was like no defense. I mean, it was pretty awful. I mean, and I only went for my day. I didn't go through the whole trial. I just recently read through all the trial transcripts. And now I know what everybody said. Were there a lot of lies from other people, other parties in there? Oh, yes, a ton. One of Joe's main guys, he did most of all the fake paperwork and stuff that Joe was accused of. He kept control of all the animal inventory and all that stuff. So Joe was dealt some things that he shouldn't have been dealt when other people did the dirty deeds. And there was other people involved in killing of the animals. They got a pass. So in my opinion, this whole thing is dirty. You know, I'm probably going to get hammered tomorrow, but I just don't think a lot of things were right. And I can pretty much say that and make that determination because like a lot of these keyboard warriors were not there. I was there. You know, remember I was there from this whole murder for hire shit. I was there. So, and I was really the only person there because the other people really didn't know what was going on. You know, his other people, even Joe's husband didn't even know what was going on with the murder for hire and all that. His current husband. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know if, you know, what's going to happen, but, you know, that's just my personal feelings on the whole thing.
All right. Let me ask you a question because there's a lot of Joe supporters here and they don't like you, as you probably know. Your book that's coming out, will the Joe supporters like what's in it or will they not like what's in
it? Well, you know, everybody. Okay, so let me start with this. Everybody's jumping on the Joe fan club, the supporters. They don't know the real Joe. They don't know what he became. Okay, so it's hard unless you were there and you seen him and you knew him on a personal level like I did. You really shouldn't have an opinion because you were not there. Joe went out there and shot innocent animals to make room to house other animals that he was getting paid to house. That's wrong. So if those people want to call me a rat and stuff for trying to do the right thing, fuck them. But, you know, Joe is not the greatest man on earth. And would those people be saying these kind of things if the Tiger King series did not come out? Because nobody, all his fan members, none of those people showed up at trial to help him out. So why are they commenting now?
Maybe they didn't know about it. You know, I mean, I never knew about it, but I didn't know Joe though. You know, I didn't know him before the show came out or anything about that. So I think he was convicted for, was it killing 5 tigers?
It was like 19 counts of animal charges, and then I think there was originally like 21, and then the 2 counts of murder for hire.
Okay.
But what the Joe supporters are not going to like is I have all the tapes. So if I wanted to change everybody's opinion, I could just simply air all the murder for hire tapes because I have them all. So I don't think it's going to help Joe if I did that. That's why I haven't done it.
Okay, I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, so when you say tapes, like, what do you, like recordings of things?
I have it. Everything. Okay, so when I was an informant, I had to basically have a mic on me.
Okay.
Every conversation between me and the other parties were recorded. I backed those tapes up because, you know, obviously I wanted to protect myself too. I gave those tapes to my lawyer.
Okay.
So
I got it. I see now.
Everybody's saying, well, Joe's innocent. Oh, Joe's innocent. Not totally innocent. And now I start thinking about a setup, you know, wait, maybe I was played. I wasn't involved in the whole mailing the phone back and forth. I didn't even know all that till I read the transcripts.
Okay.
So
do you think, you already said you don't think he deserved the 22 years. I mean, you said that. Do you think with the information that you have that it would help get his conviction overturned?
Well, I mean, obviously, I played a pretty serious part in it, so I know it went down. I can back everything that I say up because everything that I have is recorded, so there's no lies on my end of it. Maybe not, but then we're into a legal aspect too. Is I have to be careful,
Right?
because I had no immunity. Okay, and this is what people don't realize. When the government wanted me to help them, and I agreed, I never asked for any immunity. I have no immunity agreement whatsoever. Zero. Everybody thought I got a sweetheart of a deal. I never got a deal. Joe's lawyers even know that I have no immunity.
So that puts you in a really scary spot talking about
it does.
this.
It puts me in a vulnerable position.
Right.
And I don't have immunity. Now, did Glover and Lowe and all them people get immunity? They all said they did. I don't know if that's true, but I did not get immunity. I didn't ask for anything.
Right. Okay.
And that's, everybody thinks that I just went to save my ass. No. Thought I was doing the noble thing, and it was a shit show, read the transcripts, I have all that stuff. And I thought about putting it all out there, but I don't think that's going to help his case. And Aaron, making Joe and proving what Joe was really doing is not going to help his case. So that's why I kind of been quiet. And
Gotcha.
sure, I'm going to get a phone call or two tomorrow saying, what are you doing, James? What are you doing? Well, this is how I feel. And I don't even really feel comfortable talking here, but I was like, I'd like to get it off my chest too, because I'm not this bad guy that conspired to take down Joe, because what was in it for me? Nothing. There's no money there. There's no assets. There's nothing. There's nothing in it for me. Tigers are a dime a dozen. Everybody's trying to get rid of them. So did others have more desire to put Joe away? Yes. But look where the zoo and stuff is now.
It's gone now.
Yeah, Joe kept it alive you got to give Joe a little bit of credit. He was doing some horrible things to the animals at the end, but you got to give Joe credit. He kept that thing alive for 20 years.
Yeah.
A certain party couldn't keep it alive for a year or 2 years.
Yeah. And Lindsay Whitney asked, what are your feelings about Jeff Lowe? I don't know if you have any feelings for him or not, but I do want to ask the question because she asked.
Well, I don't
have any thoughts on it.
I didn't know about the Glover was a longtime employee in South Carolina. I didn't know about all that stuff whenever I did what I did. I didn't learn a lot of this stuff till the end. Like I said, I just went through the transcripts of the trial. I read John Finley's stuff. I read, and everybody on his side threw Joe under the bus when every one of those people were doing dirty shit. So just like John Rinke, he kept track of all the Cub sales and the Cub book and stuff. Why didn't he even go to court? Now he's trying to write letters for Joe saying what a great guy he was. But why wasn't he at trial defending his best friend? So there's a lot of sleazy shit that is going on. Everybody's so two-faced, stabbing everybody in the back. It's really sad.
It's kind of scary. I mean, when you think about it, and
it is.
There's a lot of things behind the scenes that are going on even today that a lot of people don't realize that's happening, and it's pretty scary.
There's a lot going on. I mean, there's just like PETA coming in, a nonprofit organization coming in and just taking everybody out, and it's like they're trying to do with all animals. They're trying to do away with every animal, your dogs, your pets. They're a dangerous organization. They're after everybody. And they're just steamrolling people because they have the money. They have that, like Carol. They have that donated money. They have a list of diehard followers that every month, no matter what they do, these people are going to support them. and they're powerful. They're real powerful. I mean, Carol, she's powerful.
She has she is, and she's really smart too. Carol is very
And
smart.
she's just a private owner. She's no different or no better than Joe, than Jeff, than me, than anybody else. But this lady is changing everybody's way of life by trying to pass all these ban laws. And there's a law on the books, Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act, that anybody that causes financial hardship to a licensed animal business, it's prosecutable, but the FBI won't even touch it. So there's laws on the book to protect everybody from people like Carol and PETA, but our government won't enforce it because these people are powerful.
Right.
So, and like with the Stark, I don't know Stark very well, but they bulldozed him. They're going to go just all the way down the line, get rid of everybody with tigers. And then what they're going to do is they're going to start going for everybody's cats and dogs. It's going to happen. They're going to go after your kids' goldfish.
So they've gone after Joe, Tim Stark. Now it looks like Doc Antle is.
They went after Kathy Stearns, put her out. I guess they're Doc. Somebody's went after him.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just steamrolling everybody. So when is this going to stop? But the animal people are so two-faced that they won't stand together and try to fight. And I think what a lot of this happened with Joe is that would put him front and center. Joe made all them crazy YouTube videos talking shit about the politicians and making outlandish videos. And I think that probably put him on the hit list. So
it might have made him stand out a little bit.
It did.
I mean,
it did.
Yeah. And I've not seen those videos that he did, so I don't know really what they were, but all right. Well,
so it's pretty crazy.
Let me ask you.
So I don't know, maybe that'll shed a little bit of light, but with all the keyboard warriors, these people, a lot of these people need to get lives because, unless you were there and you experienced it, like I was there, I was put through it. I mean, it was a miserable experience for me. Miserable.
Yeah.
Someone asked. I knew a guy for 20 years, 25 years,
Someone asked how you sleep at night. And I know I talked to you a while back and you actually said something about that, but
well, I don't. Okay. So I'm going to back up a little bit because I wasn't wrong. I don't think I was wrong by any means because what happened is there was animals being shot. Anybody that likes animals or loves animals would have probably done the same thing that I did. So I'm not going to sit here and second guess myself because there was a lot of animals being sold, skinned, teeth being made. I mean, a lot of shit. I mean, there was 18 tiger skins at the taxidermist. So does Joe deserve to have animals ever again? No, he wasn't nice to the animals. So, I mean, they can hate on me all they want, but it's pretty sick when you see animals shot and, right to the taxidermist they go for the skins to be sold or him to have his people be meeting people on the side of the road selling a tiger cub to somebody that doesn't even know anything about a tiger cub, what it eats, what you need to house it in. I mean, he was selling cubs to anybody. I blame a lot of that pressure for him doing that on Carol because Carol probably spent $2 million to try to collect $1 million.
Yeah, she probably did spend more than it was worth just to get it from him.
But that's donated money. It should be applied to animals, and it wasn't. So,
right. All right.
But yeah, I don't. I have sometimes I have problems sleeping. It's not that I did everything wrong, but you got to think. There's a lot of con people in this whole situation. Don't think I wasn't played a little bit.
Right. And for the record, you don't agree with the 22-year sentence. You think it's too much.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, um, I don't. You know, Joe was doing some things like a lot of people on here don't know. Joe was sending nasty letters to the judge, complaining on everybody while he was in jail, playing the victim on everything he does, because that's what Joe does. Joe does play a pretty good victim, plays the part. So he sent a lot of hate mail and stuff to the judge and to other people. So that was probably considered during his sentencing aspect of it. But do I
Yeah,
think he
it could
got?
have been. Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just being seeing the same judge that oversaw the Carol Baskin civil suit, I thought that was kind of suspicious from day one.
That is a little questionable.
Like
All right.
that judge said there should have been a fresh judge. That's what I would imagine, but
All right. How about Don Lewis? Do you know anything about the Don Lewis case?
I don't. I mean, I've heard rumors throughout the last 20 something years.
Yeah.
You
What
know,
kind of
the
rumors have
same
you
rumors
heard?
everybody else heard: the septic tank, the meat grinder, dropped off in an airplane over Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
You know, I pretty much heard what everybody else heard. You know,
Right.
but yeah, I was around back then, so yeah, I mean, everybody. You know, I'm kind of one of the people that had animals for a long time, so I was around in that era. So
Okay. Hey, I got a question. A lot of people don't know what the Sausage Castle is, but when's the last time you've been to the Sausage Castle?
I was there probably, I don't know, a few weeks ago, stopping in. Cool place.
Yeah, so that's Mike Busey's place, and if you guys don't know what the Sausage Castle is, I'm sure you will eventually. But it
Yeah, take
is
a trip there. I think they're having a big Halloween party or whatever the case may be.
right.
You know, yeah, it's a pretty crazy place, but you know, who knows where all this stuff's going to go? If there's going to be another Tiger King series or what? I don't know. You know, I don't know how it's going to all end.
Right.
I really don't.
But I don't think any of us know how it's going to end, but there's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen. Um, I know that much. But
With the
anyway,
Baskin saga and all that.
yes. Okay. Well,
So,
I'm going to
so
let
yeah.
you go.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on here. I mean, I didn't expect for you to jump on. I was just kind of joking, but I'm glad that you did. And I'm really interested to see what's in this book that's coming out. So
Yeah, it's gonna be, you know, it's. I didn't realize there's so much red tape to everything, and you know, and for all the people that want to try to get on on this show and all that stuff, do yourself a favor. You know, it's nothing good has came out of it. You know, it's real overrated. You know, if I had to do it all again, I would have never talked to that camera.
I gotcha.
Because
All
you
right.
don't know what they're going to say, you know.
And you don't know how it's going to be edited and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. But they did a pretty decent job of it. I mean, nothing was. They didn't stretch the truth or anything by any means. So I do give them credit for that stuff. They didn't go into the deeper, darker stuff, which they could have. They didn't. But I mean, they did a pretty decent job with it, I guess.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for coming on here. Enjoy Florida and stay safe out there, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
See you
Take care,
later.
James. Jinxie. Jinxie's been in on backstage, but
Hello.
I did the. I mean, I had that was not planned out. Like, I got a message. I actually sent him the article about the pizza phone thing, and
Did he say what he knew about that? Because I had to restart my PC. I might have missed it.
yeah, he did not. Like, he said he didn't know about the pizza phone really. Like, he wasn't a part of that or whatever. You know, but I had no idea what was
He didn't
gonna
really.
happen.
I'm sorry. He didn't really promote his book because he didn't tell us the name of it or the date it was going to be released. Just a book in December. So
right, a book in December. So I mean,
That
he
wasn't
did
very good promoting of it, if you ask me.
right. He did throw it out there, and I have talked to him in the past about um, Don Lewis, Carol Baskin case type stuff to see what kind of information he had, and then I talked to him a little bit about some of this stuff, but he's not really ever said much about it because he really couldn't. And I mean, I'm to be honest, I was scared to ask him questions like I didn't want to get I don't want to get anyone
Hi,
in
Linda.
in trouble, but I I just didn't know what the answers would be either. So I
Right.
knew better to ask questions that I didn't know the answers to, But Jada, he did say he had contacted their lawyers, and I would assume that they will probably reach out to him. Maybe I don't know, but
He said there's red tape, and you know what? I
uh,
believe that when it comes to lawyers and legalities of stuff, there's a little bit of red tape, or even cards being held close to the chest in some of these cases. I mean, I can
right,
believe that a little bit.
right. So this pizza phone thing was new to me. Like we have a lot of people in the chat that they're really upset. And for
I,
anyone upset, I'm sorry you're upset. I will say, anytime there's a chance that you can get someone to talk, if they have information, you should try to get some information. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how, the information that we just got, how we can use it for good. You know, I'm going to have to watch it again and see if there's something in there that,
well, I think
you
him
know,
coming on alive is always good, probably for the lawyers that are representing Joe to see at least, or just so they can weed out stuff too. That
true.
might help.
Yeah. Yeah, there could be something in there that may be important. Now, I haven't.
I don't really follow Joe's case. I don't think he's actually guilty of murder from hire, just from what I watched. I've never really looked into his case, to be honest. But yeah, so I have a hard time following some of that stuff he was,
Uh,
like talking about and stuff. I mean,
right. Yeah, and I haven't. Like I've seen little bits of things, and I have. I'll just say, when I have come across information that I thought would be important to Joe's case, I have reached out to his attorneys, his new attorney, and sent them the information. I thought this could be important. This could help Joe. Um, his attorney probably should know about this information, and I'll send it to them. But I don't know a lot about the case. I do have the transcript. I have the court transcript, but I have not had time to read it. Um, it's large. It's very long. There's a lot to it, and it would take a while. Um,
yeah, I haven't even attempted any of that because I'm sure there's a lot to sift through in that case alone.
and I'm, like I see some people said that they're not mad at me, and thank you for not being mad at me. I mean, I could not pass up the opportunity, because you just don't know what could come out of that, and hopefully something, hopefully there's something that can be used from that. I mean, I'm not a fan of the prison system. Do I think some people should be in prison for some things? Yes.
Yeah.
Should Joe Exotic be in prison for 22 years? Hell no. Hell no. 22 years? No. No. I mean, there's people that have murdered people and they serve 5 years.
I read an article about Chad Cronister's son stabbed somebody like in the face, I think it was, and he got like 22 months. And I was like,
Right.
oh my God, 22 months for somebody who got literally stabbed another person.
Yeah, but that's because his son's a hardcore rapper, though. It's
Yeah.
gangsta. I mean, um, uh, anyway, it's I know Sherry. Sherry was very vocal. Yes, Sherry, you were very vocal. It made me
Sherry had me
nervous.
giggling over here.
All right, so let's talk about Dateline. Can we talk about Dateline?
We can, I guess. You see my
So
beautiful hat? I changed my icon just for you.
I see. Yes, yes. All right. So let's tell people, um, for those that did not see Dateline, Jinxie was on Dateline as what was your title on there? What did they call you? Like,
The
um,
the amateur web sleuth.
yes, that's right, amateur web sleuth, and they.
I
I
say I'm
mean,
intermediate now.
you've moved up. You're intermediate. All right, so I just got to tell people because I want to tell this story. When
Okay.
that opportunity came up, you did not want to do it, right? You were like, "No, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to be on TV,"
I don't
right?
want to be on TV.
You were really nervous about it, right?
Right.
Now, when they were filming you, were you nervous?
I wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was
Uh,
kind of relaxed. It was easy to do. There was only 3 other people there, so it wasn't too bad.
right, because you didn't look nervous. Like,
By the way, that's not my house, in case you guys are wondering,
okay,
or
all
my
right,
coffee mug.
all right. So let's talk about that because there's a lot of talk going on about a bunch of crazy stuff right now, which we don't need to get into. But,
Oh, jeez.
but, but that wasn't your house. So what did the people at Dateline do? Like, what do you mean it wasn't your house?
Well, they had to rent out a place for me to come to because I didn't want them to come here with
Uh
my
huh.
my family and the cats and just here.
So
So they had to find a venue to rent,
okay.
and then
So
they sent
they
a car to come and get me.
so they came. They picked you up. They brought you
Yep,
to this house, and they pampered you basically.
with water and brownies.
Brownies.
I got brownies.
Wow. When
They were
when the
good too, by the way.
I bet they were. When the daughters did Dateline, I was there watching that during the filming, and we did not have any brownies, just sandwiches. There were no brownies
Well, I
for
think your
that.
producer who was filming them was a different person that I had because mine was from
Oh,
Chicago here because they were busy with doing interviews other
in
places. So
Florida. So you didn't have
yeah,
Rob
no, I didn't.
up there. Okay, that would
I
make
had
sense.
Kathy Singer, I think is her name.
Okay, so she's the cookie lady.
She's the one who gave the brownies. She made white brownies, which I've never had white brownies before, and they were just yum.
It's making me hungry. If you guys hear any growling, it's just my stomach. Don't worry. You know.
It's not a tiger
Um,
behind you.
well, um,
That's just Carol.
this is this is Zerk. Zerk dressed like someone. Um, anyway, where's Leo's? Leo's 71. Now, Leo's. I know you're upset, so I'm sorry you were upset. I don't want anyone
I'll
being
be the
mad.
comic relief.
Uh, yes, please. All right. So how long? So you were on Dateline. It was like 5 minutes long, right?
Yeah, but my interview was like 2 hours long,
All right. So you filmed for 2 hours and you're on for
like
five
five
minutes.
minutes.
People are
Not
asking
even.
for a link for the Dateline thing.
Dateline told me that they will not have a link for it online and that it was only going to air for 3 days after on the on demand for NBC, I think, for Dateline NBC. So there was I was airing it for some people who I knew. There were people, friends of mine too, that, what are you doing? Get down, kitty, sorry.
Me?
Um
Oh.
knocking stuff over. He's like, "Are you watching me? Because you're not." I'm gonna knock this over and that over. Anyway, so what was I talking about? I got distracted. Shiny squirrel, come here. Come here, better not.
Is it so? It's a cat, right? That you're
It's my
talking to.
cat, better not. He's looking at me like, "Are you watching me? Why are you on this live? You're supposed to be paying attention to me."
All right. So they filmed for 2 hours,
Right.
and after that, did they send you anything? Did they say, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how it's going to come across," or did they just all of a sudden say, "Hey"? it's going to be airing on whatever date. Did they?
Well, after my interview, I asked her, "Did I get the job?" And she laughed, so that was good because it was a joke. They contacted me a couple of times after my interview to ask me questions and stuff. So, you know, they're like, "Why didn't you say that on the camera? Why didn't you say this?" And I was like, "Because you didn't ask."
So did they say why they were only airing it for 3 days, or why there's no?
They just said there's a rights issue. Hold on one second. I got to put the kitty out if you're. Hey.
All right, we're gonna let the cat out.
Sorry about that. Impromptu kitty cats. No, he said there was rights issues, maybe or something to that effect. So I'm thinking it has something to do with
Carol
YouTubes maybe that were on the show,
or Carol, yeah, because Carol did not,
or maybe even the Dateline from. She was not happy about the old Dateline from '98 with the bed and breakfast with the Bobcats.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, I'm just speculating. I really don't know, but that would be my guess.
Yeah, because I know that the family of Don Lewis did not have a problem with it. They liked it, and I mean, they would have been happy to let people see it over and over. I can't think of too many people that would not.
I played it on Discord for a couple of days because I had it on my DVR, and I was able to play it that way.
So do you still have it on your DVR?
I do. I can still air it for anyone who really wants to see it. I mean, I only watched it the one time. I don't come back and watch the lives that I've done. It was weird because this was like the first time I watched myself too. Was with this Dateline when it was on. It was
right. Oh, strange. Hey,
I was like, no.
I figured it out. All right, so everybody can see the name MysticJynx right there under MysticJynx's name, the MysticJynx. So this is a size large shirt right here. So here's what I will do. I will give this away. I will do one of those random drawings, and I will pick. Now, here's the thing. I don't think it pulls the live video chat. So after this is over, come back on this video and just type in the comments MysticJynx. And then I will do a random drawing, and I will give this, it's a sample shirt. I will give this away to a winner, but the key word is MysticJynx. One word. Don't do two. Just do it one word, MysticJynx. And Stephanie's saying Carol did it. MysticJynx is going to be the word, but you have to do it.
One word.
After the video under comments, because the live chat, I don't think it will pull those comments. So it's a size large. I
don't know why it wouldn't. It pulls the live comments even when you premiere your videos.
Yeah, but I don't know if the random drawing does it or not. But I will tell everyone that this one right here is actually the very first one made, and it actually has the little dots that were used to line up the screens. So it's the very first one made.
So which one are you wearing? The second?
I'm probably wearing the fourth one that was made by now, because I wore one yesterday also.
I was going to say, did you change your shirt today?
No, but I'm going to be wearing these a lot. But no, this might be the fourth one here. But this is a large. This is the very first one. So I will give it away. It's going to be MysticJynx, but it needs to be in the comments after this video, after we log off. So someone... I
think they can still put the comments in.
Okay, they can try.
The comments.
They can try. It was either going to be MysticJynx, or I was going to do something like Serena Williams or Britney Spears. And, I was going to say, if you like music, then just do Britney. But if you like sports, then do Serena's last name. But I've changed my mind. I'm not going to do that one. Get it?
I got it.
It's a good one, isn't it? That's a good one. I might do it later, though. So Britney Spears or Serena Williams but maybe later down the road.
I didn't get that at all. That
You
totally
got
went
it
over
now,
my
though.
head. No, I
Uh-huh.
totally got it right away.
I know it's funny, isn't it? When I was thinking about it, I was like, "Oh, that would be really funny," but um,
Drama.
another day. So anyway, I guess I better go because my wife is home, and I'm gonna go. I didn't. I just wanted to come on here for a little bit and talk about this election stuff. Hey, I do want to ask you. Let me pull these up real quick.
All right.
This election stuff that I was showing when I first started. I don't know if you saw these or
Yeah,
not.
I was here.
I'll scroll through some more. Let me see if I can find more of them.
So is that 8? What are those, the districts that they're showing, like 500, 501? Are those like the voting poll places, like where they were
Right.
voting?
Yeah. Like the
Like where they mailed
precinct.
their votes to?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a precinct, if they call them precincts or districts or what they call them in
Okay.
Florida. But like this one, this 500, Chronister wins on all three. So that one, normal except the mail-in votes is almost tripled. Um,
Yeah,
it just
I'd
doesn't.
like to see the actual ballots that were mailed in. I think they should.
Yes, the
There needs
actual.
to be some kind of record of like when they get them, how they enter them and stuff. Like, are they like on camera when they are opening all these ballots and stuff?
Uh,
How does that work?
I don't know. And does it go through a computer? I don't. I don't know. Um, but it's very interesting when you start looking through. Like I don't understand why some of these don't have numbers in there.
Yeah, like
Like
why weren't they recording each of those?
yes, why are they incomplete? Like that one, why does it just have? I don't know. It just maybe there's nothing to it, but it just seems a little.
Maybe they just haven't updated the data.
Well, it's been a long time since that
This
primary.
this was just for the primary, right?
Yes, and this is
Okay.
just for the
That was in
sheriff.
August,
Now,
correct?
here's the thing. I did look at some of the others. I looked at some of the, not the sheriffs, but some like the judges and all that stuff. And here's what was interesting. And maybe I should just do a whole video. But on the others, this election, the sheriff election, is the only one where the vote by mail does not fit the same pattern as the election day and the early votes. It's
How
just
about this? Do they have all these filled in? All these little things that aren't filled in here on those pages for
no,
those
not
other.
not all of them.
Okay.
No, no. But if someone over there won like the election day and the early votes, they normally won the vote by mail also. It was like the same type percentage. This was the only one. I didn't go through a whole bunch, but I went like through three different ones. And I was like, why did the sheriffs like how did Chronister get all these mail-in votes? It,
It is awfully an awfully big jumps between the numbers that I'd want to see them. Of course, I want to see everything. Like, I don't believe things unless I see them. I'm one of those people.
right. Yeah, I mean like this 757. Boswell wins election day by almost double. The early votes, he barely loses. And then the vote by mail, double. Um,
Didn't they have problems with voting in the past in Florida, like the
they did that
Chads or
one year.
whatever?
That one year they did. They did. But like
Thrown
just
out all
these,
those votes with the Chads, that they didn't have the Chads all the way poked out or whatever.
yeah, there's this 759 and 761. Like Boswell blows him out of the water, but the Mellon votes, no. I mean, like, I don't know. It just seems, it doesn't make sense to me. Um, all right, so if somebody wants to do the Discord thing, is that something that you want to do this evening for people that, because there were people that were asking about it.
Do you guys want to see the Dateline? I can air it again for you
So if
guys.
people
I have to
wanna-
set it all up again. I mean, I gotta turn it on and stuff and get it set up over there. But I guess I can do another one.
All right, so maybe what
I won't
time
be
is
there
it?
to watch it. So you guys, here's are the rules. You get in there, you go to chat and stream, you click on that twice, you see the little screens, you click on the one that says live stream, and you mute your mic. And if anybody's bothering you that doesn't mute their mic, you can deafen yourself. They're all at the bottom on the left. The chat
Okay.
stream's on the left.
Can you say that again?
Is
Can
that
you
too
go through that
fast?
again? All right. So look, you get in there, you click on the live stream part.
Here, let me get the link first to put in
and
the chat.
mute your mic so that people can't hear you talking. And maybe you give them 15 minutes to get there. So she's going to put a link in the chat, and then we'll end this.
Where is
You
it?
guys can go there and watch.
Oh, I deleted it. I can't do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, come on. Because people are like, yes, please, yes, please.
I'm sick of seeing myself, to be honest.
So you guys need to, if you don't have Discord,
I was
you need to
looping
download it.
I was looping it for everybody for like the weekend, and not very many people showed up, so I turned it off eventually. So here's the Discord. I'll have to set it up.
All right, so there's the link, everybody. There's the link.
Did I put that in the right place?
Yeah, it's there. It's there. So there's the link, and I would say 15 minutes.
Yeah, let's shoot for 7:30 or so. That's my time. That's Central Time. It's 7:14 now. So.
All right, Tori. Let's see, Tori. That's a good question. Will there be any more Don Lewis specials?
Not that I know of. Not that are airing in the next couple weeks that I know of.
Yeah, there are a couple of
Things in
networks out there that are looking to do stuff, but I don't think they've announced it yet.
So I will not be doing another Dateline. That was a one-time thing, and I am done.
Really? You wouldn't do it again?
Look at me. I don't even get on voice. I don't even get on camera on YouTube. I mean.
Yeah. All right.
Really
So Lisa says, will there be any announcements coming? I can tell you that the family of Don Lewis has hired a new attorney. I can tell you that they've hired Clark Brewster to work with them on their case. So there's an announcement that you guys can have right there.
Which means for John Phillips is now just what, Ann's attorney, right?
Yes, John Phillips is representing Anne, and Clark Brewster is representing the three daughters.
So there's some news.
That's correct. So there's an announcement for you guys right there. So, all right. The link for the Discord is in the chat, everybody.
Again.
She's going to put it in there again so you guys can click it.
Yeah, I knew that question was coming. I was there a change.
The family wanted to move in a different direction. That's why.
There you go.
Simple as that. They wanted to move in a different direction, and they have.
And the old lawyer, John Phillips, is still working with Anne in the defamation suit against Carol, I believe.
That's correct.
Yeah. That's
correct. Sue, it's not going to affect anything. It won't affect anything. Don't worry. It's it will be just fine. It's better than fine. So, all right, everybody, the Discord link is right in there. I'm going to go. My wife is home. Jinxie, thanks for coming on here. You did a wonderful job on Dateline. James Garretson, thank you for coming on. I know people were not happy, but we do have to let people talk. There's just because we don't know what could come out of it. Tori, yes, Clark will be just fine in Florida. It's all good. It's all handled. So, all right, everybody. I'm Ripper. That's Jinxie, and we're out. And don't forget to comment MysticJynx to get a chance to win the large shirt. And down the road, I think there will be some for sale, and we can raise more money for the reward fund or for whatever we want to raise money for. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Stay safe. Jinxie, stay safe. Thank you again. We're out. Take care. Bye, everybody.